Uh, now he's gonna take my whole list.
Where'd it go?
I figured I'd come back. I threw the plate in celebration. I had to go get it. It went way farther than I planned on it going.
I don't know my own strength.
It wants to fly because it's naturally a flying saucer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take my hat off to do my list because this, old school hair is just things that kids today wouldn't understand. Actually, let's do it like just a regular backwards hat. Like that's old school.
Yeah.
That's me. I don't know. I was kind of all over the place. I did struggle all week because this isn't a list you could put on Spotify. And this was kind of some personal stuff I don't really want to get into. Well, too far. But anyways, we lost a dog that we've had for a really long time.
Oh, that sucks.
Other stuff going on. So it's been pretty rough. So I've been kind of like trying to listen to upbeat music, happy music. I've been doing stuff to keep me busy, and I couldn't find a list for this. While I was doing it, some songs, or even as I'm thinking about it, some songs came up that mentioned some things like once, like you talked about beepers and pagers and whatever. My number 5 is a prime example of that. Jay-Z, I Just Want to Love You. There's a line in there, and he says a couple different things in there, but there's a line in there that says, "I'm too cold, Motorola two-way page me." No kid under, I don't know what the age is. I'm going to say 35, but even knows what that line means. He's like, he's writing a two-way page. Is that like a front and back of his sheet? He's writing the verses on. What is a two-way page?
Yeah, like I said, 80s or 90s hip hop was definitely chocked full with a bunch of that stuff.
Oh yeah, because especially because that was like, especially even then, like pagers before even we got them, that was kind of a sign of you made it up there or drug dealing. It was one of two things: you were business, drug dealing, or weird dad that just always checked it and probably never had one. It was like just in case, like mom was going to text him dinner's ready, and it was like some special code 126. Oh shit, we're having lasagna tonight. I gotta go. Guys, I gotta go. I got a beep. Got a page.
Can I use your phone?
Number 4. This was more of a term, but nobody, I don't think a lot of people knew what it meant, but Fortunate Son by Credence Clearwater Revival. And the song, like it critiques like the draft, the Vietnam War, and things, like the Gen Z for sure, but most generations wouldn't even fathom the draft. Or what do you mean you had to register, or what do you mean everybody literally went and only you got out of it at a certain point if you had something really wrong with you. Now every person can get out of it between whatever diseases we all have now, but back then if it wasn't a missing leg, under 5'5", whatever, I mean you were in.
Yeah.
If you were a male, under 36 or whatever it was at that time. Number 3. This one references something I don't think, other than maybe seeing it on an old TV show or something, but this is Pink Floyd, Young Lust. And the part in there where the phone operator comes in and does the connecting and, hello, how may I connect you? And does the like, they know, but like, if you're 25, they're like, is this song messing up or what's going on there? Or, what's this from? But
yeah, they definitely wouldn't get it.
I even remember my grandpa used to have, he had bought like a switchboard connector that had all of the little plugs and stuff. So when I was a kid, I'm playing with taking the things out, switching from line 1 to line 2 and connecting over. And it's just crazy how the ladies used to sit in a room and connect our phone calls so we could chat up our honey or your fella or whatever,
You got to call a guy to call another guy.
Yeah, that's what I said. Some chick answers. She's like, hello. I'm like, connect me to, and in my day, it wasn't necessarily, they didn't answer by then, but they were still connecting you early on, even in our lives. It wasn't automatically connected. It was still switchboard operators into the 80s.
Oh, dude, you know what was probably really crazy? If somebody was harassing you, you had to like call somebody and be like, hey, block them.
I remember like *67 and *69, so you could block your number when or you could, like keep some or figure out who called you. You could call them back like, hey man, And then like there was like *674, which even if they blocked their number, you could still return their call and really mess with them. And then I'd be like, "This is the police, and you've been calling this number too much. We've sent in a squad car your way." Shit, man, you could mess with and I was like a prank caller. So I used to be doing the, "Hey, is your refrigerator running? You better go catch it." So I had to be blocking my number as soon as caller ID came out, man.
Man, there was one time, I think I was probably like 7, and I prank called somebody and I was like, "Is your refrigerator running?" And she's like, "Why, yes, it is. It's doing really well. How are you doing today?" And I was like, "I'm fine. How are you doing?" And then we had like a whole conversation, and then she hung up. I was like, "Man,
So
that didn't work."
you're not a very good prank caller?
She's a nicer person than she is a better prank caller. I could have told you that.
Well, like I said, you couldn't. I mean, like I said, you can block. I guess you could block the call, but I don't think kids are prank calling anymore. I mean,
no, it's just, I mean, you do, it's to your friends, or it's and they do, because now you can use these like actually, I take that back. They do a lot of it and mess with people. They do, because you can, like, I can call you from a different number, an internet phone number, here in about 10 minutes that you won't know what it is if I want to. Now prank calls are like, "Hello, do you want to buy insurance?" And as soon as you say yes and give them anything, then they got all your shit. Your identity. Ha!
Ha! Joke's on you.
I'm the first one to use the F word tonight. Boom. Was that my number 3? It was. All right. Number 2. I don't know if this, I don't remember. I don't think you used this song, but you did use Run DMC the other day. Somebody did. But this is, it's tricky. And man, that song, like when it came on, that just makes me smile. It's tricky.
Yeah.
And there it's basically, they features the boom box, and they talk about the boom box as the symbol of their culture and stuff. And kids now don't know what a boom box is. You know, they know what hold on, let me take out my earphones. What? A boom box? What is it? I don't want to hear your music. I don't want to hear your music. I'm listening to my stuff, and put them back in and then go on, you know. I remember that. If you could carry that big silver boombox, man, if it had to be, you could. I remember walking down to the courts with one, listening to like ICP, Insane Clown Posse, just getting down, and people like, "Shut that stupid thing off." I'm like, "Sorry, I'll turn like Stone Temple Pilots or something on," you know, but still just jamming that, you know, that was cool.
And the music would last for hours.
Oh man, you go to the pool with that thing. I remember whoever showed up with that thing was the king, because you controlled it. Like, it's my boombox. We're listening to what I want. Yeah. Like the girls, like, "We want to listen to Britney." I'm like, "All right, we're listening to Britney. Shut up." Who cares? I didn't tell them that then. I'm like, "It's because the girls." But really, it was because I liked it. That was my number 2. My number 1. I haven't got the Beatles on in a long time. We haven't done a news about the Beatles. I've had them on an honorable mention 2 weeks, I believe, out of the last 6 or so, but haven't even brought them up. But this country doesn't even exist. And if you said I'm going back in the USSR, most people don't know where the hell that is. We'll say now Vladimir Putin's part of it, but it's all of the places he's trying to take back were once going back. Now that he's trying to take back the USSR, no. But you know, I mean, most kids, or a lot of people, wouldn't even know what the hell the USSR is. I mean, maybe, I guess you would, because of history or stuff like that. But I mean, who paid attention there? I mean, I did, but who today does?
Yeah. I don't know if they
it
even
hasn't
teach
been going
anymore.
for a terribly long time.
Yeah, but I don't think they even teach it anymore. They've whitewashed it out of there. It doesn't exist. But the fun fact about the Beatles, it was the 6th, July 6th, was the day that Paul and John met. So that was a pretty pivotal moment in rock and roll right there.
Yeah.
And
Where'd you meet
Paul, John's first
role.
band, the Quarrymen, was playing at a church, and Paul was there, and John was impressed that Paul could play an Eddie Cochran song, and then Bebop-A-Lula by Gene Vincent, and then even more so impressed when Paul taught John and his other guitar player to tune their guitars, which they had been paying somebody to tune before each show, I would assume. I don't know how often they got tuned. So, yeah. I mean, without that, we probably wouldn't be sitting here talking about music, I wouldn't think.
I still think hard to say because I think music would still exist. I think don't know what direction, what exactly it would sound like, but I think we probably. I
Miss
love
out.
Beatles, and I want to give them a lot, and a lot of people do give them. But I think there would have been a Beatles or a next Beatles if they weren't. So,
Well, could just try to wrap your head around a world without the Beatles or
oh,
bands influenced by the
there's a
Beatles.
ton of them that can. There's a ton of people that aren't that don't like them. That they thought they were. You know, if you look back, and I tried to have this argument with somebody that basically tried to tell me they were the One Direction.
Well, they
They don't
were.
like any of their music, but they were the One Direction of their time.
Well, they were
And
the first boy band, yeah.
I don't think there's even an equivalent because the type of they wrote like, and of course my daughter would kill me for this, but they wrote deep music. Also a lot of drug music and a lot of a lot of that type of and maybe you're right, they were a boy band, but they were so different than all of the Monkees and all the boy bands that were existing and did exist.
Yeah, I mean, they set the standard, and then producers and stuff tried to recreate it and started piecing people together. I mean, they weren't pieced together, like say they all met naturally and they formed a band naturally, so they weren't put together, assembled
They were
in the factory.
it is crazy that they were 7 different bands or 7 different looks, and they were only together for like what we say, like 14 years or
10. It
what.
was only 10.
Something like that.
Yeah, and you look at like they aged 30 years each in that time. They had all these different looks, all these different styles. Where it was 2 years of the teeny bopper, then they were the beatniks or the washed, the all long haired hippie bearded.
I feel like some sort of Beatles type music would have eventually evolved, like
Boo
pretty
Elvis.
soon within it. I I don't I hate to say I'm not like a Beatles fan. I feel like they sounded the same as everything else that was going on through there. I know Beatles mania was more of the fact that they were from a different country and they were like more rock and roll, but they really did to me sounded like everything else that was going on at that time.
I'm gonna.
Coach, I'm gonna let you handle this one. I mean, everybody copied them after they did it. So I mean, after they had success,
I don't know how to react.
Everybody was trying to do it. Rolling Stones were in huge competition with.
Somebody get the Narcan.
I did. That was close to. That was like a panic. I didn't know how to react to that. And I know people that aren't Beatles fans, but the way you just said it to me, that was the most striking way I've ever.
I'm sorry, but it's the truth, and
That's
I'm not even gonna bring up how I feel about the Rolling Stones. But I mean, just listening, growing up, listening to.
I know who your favorite band is, and I
need to quit lying to you guys. But
I'm gonna take a break, guys. I'll be back.
I think you still got one more, don't you?
No, that was number 1. Beatles is where I ended it with USSR. It'll be on the playlist. This is for music lovers only, and I'm Coach Casey. That was my list.
Good list, Coach.